High school teacher in New Hampshire is accused of convincing one of his students to shock himself with an electrical cord. This in exchange for a Mountain Dew. But guess what? The 18-year-old went through with it. Up to 125 volts ran through his body. His heart stopped. The kid almost died. He spent 6 days in the hospital. Now, police are not filing any charges against the teacher. Here's why. Let's take a listen.
We concluded that we don't think that anybody in the room, the teacher, Kyle himself, or any of the other students that helped with this contraption that he became shocked with, thought or knew that he'd be hurt.
Okay, again, this is part of a science experiment that they were rigging up. The teacher is on paid leave, and he's denying the claims that he encouraged this sick stunt. School is investigating. What do you think? We're taking your calls, 1-877-TEL-HLN. Join us to talk about this. Family law attorney, Janelle Weinstein, she joins us. And back with us as well, criminal defense attorney Drew Finling. Drew, I'll start with you on this one. Why do you think the case is closed on any criminal charges here? I mean, if the kid would have died, he didn't, thankfully, wouldn't there have been charges? Well, the kid came close. You think maybe you investigate a little more here?
Well, I think we have to credit law enforcement for their interviews and the information that they receive. This is one of those times, Mike, where we can talk about it, but we really are not privy to the exact statements that are a result of what is probably extensive law enforcement investigation. Clearly, the information they received did not meet the elements of any crime, whether it's criminal negligence or some aggravated assault charge. They just didn't meet the elements. Now, if they want to take an administrative action from a scholastic standpoint, that's one thing. But law enforcement and prosecutors have to see whether there's enough evidence beyond a reasonable doubt that a crime's been perpetrated, and you have to credit them for realizing we just don't have that here. Let the school take care of whatever they need to do.
Okay, Janelle, what are you seeing here? Because this teacher, certified teacher, a master electrician, if anybody, he should have known how dangerous this could be. Are you seeing negligence here? What's the missing piece here in a criminal charge?
Well, that's exactly right. Is there going to be any civil suits that are filed by this child? Because he is 18, he could file it himself. But you have to remember, some of the facts that are coming out on this case is that he actually, the child, put the clamp on himself as well. So there is questions if he was to pursue a civil negligence case, whether or not there be some assumption of his own risk. So it is very outrageous, this conduct going on in a classroom, and I think that's what everybody's looking at is, how could this happen? Yeah. What's going on?
Yeah, exactly. When you're, again, the teacher, master electrician, if anybody should keep everybody safe, even if you're rigging up a science experiment, it should be this teacher. Now, the school is investigating. Let's listen to the school superintendent about where they stand right now.
My job now is to sort out what actually happened. We have conflicting statements. You have a number of students who have said certain things transpired in the classroom. You have a teacher who, in statements that were made, are disputing some of the claims.
Okay, there's the school. They're investigating. Drew, what responsibility does the teacher bear? If my kid's in that class, I want everybody safe. We're dealing with an electrical experiment here.
Well, look, the teacher has a responsibility for making sure that not only people learn, but people are safe within the confines of his classroom. But there's three topics that we're talking about, Mike. We're talking about administratively, what does the school do? Civilly, is he subject to a lawsuit? And the worst case scenario for him would be, can he be charged with a crime? There's a concept also called contributory negligence, and that is when he participated, the student, did he contribute to his own injury? Now, normally that's used in a civil case. It's really not part of a criminal defense, but they do look at it. Law enforcement and prosecutors look at it. If he contributed, that's going to really keep them shying away from criminally charging him. Is he subject to a lawsuit? Possibly. Sanctioned by the administration? I think that's probably coming his way from an educational standpoint.
Okay, right now, paid administration.